I've been telling people one of the great things about doing this record was I got to sing with some great singers, including one of my favourite singers of all time. I remember being a young fella, about 16 years old or something like that, and me and my hoodlum mates jumped into their E.H. Holden and drove into Adelaide, where it was the big smoke, into Adelaide, and we got drunk and we went to see Mad Dogs and Englishmen by with Joe Cocker. And Joe was just so great in that movie. I was watching it and he sang fantastic. We sang his songs all the way home. And I was lucky enough, a couple of years later, in that band I used to be in, Cold Chisel, when we were young. When we were very young, we got to support Joe Cocker in Adelaide at Memorial Drive. And now, I thought this was great because I was such a fan. And I figured, I'd watch really closely, learn a few things, from one of my favourite singers. And they allowed me to stand right side the stage so I could see him. It was great, prime view, and I was watching everything. He was singing beautifully, but I noticed that when he sang, he was on his toes a lot. And I thought, I know what he's doing. He's trying, it's about getting the pitch right, and all this. And one of his writers said, no, he's pissed. Right, okay, that makes sense too, yeah. And after the show, Joe was so cool and so warm and all that. He said, come, we're going to go to a club, come with us. So we all went down to this club in Adelaide. And as soon as we walked in, Joe walked off. And I thought, I'll just see what he does, I'll learn from the best, And he got up and he started walking around the tables. And I thought, this is cool. He's going around, he's introducing himself to the fans and all that. He was actually walking up to the tables and stealing the drinks. And sculling them. He was absolutely blind by the time we left the club. It was great. But he still, when I seen him sing next time, he was still singing great. Fast forward a few years later, and I was making this record, and I went to Los Angeles to sing with Joe, and I walked into the studio, and there he was sitting there, and he looked really healthy. And I said, how are you, Joe? You look good. He said, I've given up drinking. The first thing I thought was, oh fuck, does that mean I have to too? And he said, no, you're right, you're okay. And we sat and we chatted for a while, and he was great. And then, it was about sort of half an hour before we were going to start singing. I noticed he dived into his bag and he pulls a bottle of wine and drank about 3/4 of a bottle of wine before we started singing. And I'm standing there and said, I thought you said you'd given up drinking. And he said, this isn't fucking drinking, this is just wine, That's good. Clayton reckons Joe doesn't drink anymore, or any less. So it's one of those things. But he remained one of my favourite singers until the day he died, and I got to sing with him a lot. This was the song I did for that record.